Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and thanks for stopping by. Our dedicated team will guide you through with the latest updates and theories at Starbase, Texas. To the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for future streams.
9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Astro Joe here for RGV Aerial Photography, Starbase Weekly, episode 170. We got an awesome show for you today with pictures taken just yesterday, Friday the 26th, around 2:30 p.m. Starbase time. Got a good host and a good commentary set up for you today. I'll pass it on over to your host, Stephanie.
G'day from Australia. Hello, everybody. G'day from RGV Aerial Photography. I'm in Australia. Today we've got Alex with us. G'day, Alex.
Hey, Steph. How's it going?
Very good, thanks. It's early spring here, nice weather. And we've got Ryan Webber with us again, thanks to NASA Spaceflight.
Hey everyone, how's it going today?
Going well. Got some good feedback on Joe's mic there. Okay, let's go start over at Massey's as per usual. A couple of nice panoramics today. It's always good to see the Mexican side as well sometimes. We see the fire breaks. Right, let's go start over at the start. Let's start at the front. So from last couple of weeks, we've noticed a bit of concrete issues here at the bunker at the very front of the block. So they pulled out all this concrete here, put some formwork up and repoured that, and we can see they've knocked out the back corner here, so there must have been something wrong with the back corner there as well. And just while we're here also, we can see they started on the roof, which will be obviously concrete. And just while we're down here, we can see a bit of the conduit work. There's a massive amount of concrete conduits down in here. You can see the electrical conduit work is coming from the whole rest of the site, and they've managed to come under the road here. They've kind of dug the road up a bit here. But that'll soon be fixed, and that'll obviously all go into the bunker there. And hopefully next time they have some kind of a "has a go" in quotes event, they'll be able to isolate things properly. I like the way they call things an event when something massively goes wrong. Oh, it's just an event.
Called an observation. That's what it is. It's an observation.
They should sell tickets.
You can see I guess it's not unusual to see that many conduits in one trench around Starbase. We see that quite often, that amount of conduits in trenches. So just to recap, they've relayed conduits all the way from the front of the building here, all the way around here. They've laid the conduits up into the new locks area, and they've also run the conduits up into the new methane and static fire area too. So once they get into that trench, I'm sure the electrical went all over into this bunker, and then from this bunker all over the place, I would imagine.
Yeah, then they can, once it's all hooked in, they can finally go off generators. Yeah.
While we're on that, did you look at this last week, Alex, where they brought the electrical up under here too, to the new two other bunkers as well, up under the LOX tanks here?
Yeah, they're replaced pretty much all the control gear, and not the gear, the runs. I think they're
So they've got
centralizing
that bunker,
everything.
they've got that electrical bunker and this electrical bunker now, all hooked into this front bunker now as well.
Yeah, just the additional conduit runs is kind of indicative that they're moving the control.
Yes, which I personally think is a good idea. Okay, we'll go on now to test tank 18.3. During our show and tell yesterday, this thing was all fully frosty, so it's getting liquid nitrogen.
Or gas.
So we can see they're getting the liquid nitrogen across from the other test structure next to it, and they're also getting gas. I think we've got a shot over that angle. You'd think I'd have that shot, and over the back there's gas hooked up as well. So what's this article doing? It's a good question. We talked about this in the show and tell a little bit. Perhaps there's some actuators underneath. Was it Ryan or Alex was saying maybe it's something to do with the downcomer testing in here, perhaps even?
It's probably testing the common dome, since it's significantly larger opening. Probably just a little bit. It's only held with bellows, so the transfer tube isn't a structural element per se. It's not really constrained at the top of the tank. So its movements are probably what they're simulating on the common dome.
Another question I
And
get a bit is whether they're going to put this cap on top eventually and test this truss structure. Because
I'd presume, but not in the short term, because they're still doing quite a bit of work to that stand.
Yep, and I guess they're still waiting on this TT17 to be removed. They haven't even started removing rams or anything. I guess it's not that high priority right now.
Or
it is odd, though, considering they have another test tank that's slated to need the can crusher. Granted, it's not finished yet, it's still sitting on the Megabay 2 turntable. And then there might be another hot stage test tank. We don't really know, though. But it is interesting that they have so much to test with Block 3, It doesn't seem like they're in a rush to test it, or if they're taking their time. It's odd to know why things are taking so long, but here we are.
And the other thing is anything other than booster afts, the Super Crusher will need a little bit of reconfiguring to accommodate others.
Because eventually the new, we assume it's going to be a new ship aft that's going to go in there, and they're going to have to reconfigure the entire, at least the bottom part of that cage for ships, and then to test the new drive section for the ship. So,
Brian, could they put the ship in this stand instead, like they did last time? The last thing in here was a ship section, wasn't it?
Well, it can't thrust sim a new ship aft, and based off of that tank that's still in Sanchez, or the Pathfinder that's still in Sanchez, it looks like they're changing things with the ship aft, and they are going to need to thrust sim test it and everything else, because you can't just change the design that much and throw it together, not unless you want to have problems. So, and they cannot afford to have another Block 2 situation with the start of Block 3. They have the money, but if they want to keep any sort of timelines, they have to get it right off the bat. So they need to test it. And they're going to need the cage to thrust and test the new any new thrust puck designs or the ship aft design. So a question becomes of when that's going to happen. I don't know.
Okay, as well on this photo here, we can see they've... Oh, that's right, I forgot about this in show and tell. I guess this does answer the question about whether they're going to put the cap on, because they've just replaced all these lugs down here for the pull-down rams. So I just answered my own question. They definitely will be putting the cap on sooner or later. Not sure about this particular article or not. There may be another article, or they may use this article. I'm sort of guessing this one, to be honest, but not quite sure yet. Okay, what was that question? Do you guys think test tank 18.3 can be used for testing pad 2 for static fire? Well, no. This tank doesn't have the right aft on it. This is just a blank aft. I think it might even just be welded on here, to be honest.
It's welded to it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the clamp receptors or anything down here, so no, that's definitely a no.
Yeah, none of
We
the
might
test
go
tanks.
back to that question at the launch site, actually, because we might just talk about that at the launch site. Sorry, Alex.
Oh, if we're going to talk about it then, my comment will wait.
Cool. Okay, let's move on to the Locks farm. So a bit of work, I think this is the best photo for this part. A bit of work this week going on the Locks farm. Mostly a bit of plumbing. So we can see the outlet manifold. We're guessing it's outlet, isn't it, Alex, coming back up through the chillers this time?
Appears to be.
Outlet comes around here and goes through, it's going to go through a redundant system down here. And it seems to, is that a T?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a T. Yeah, it runs across under here into this little skid down here.
That'll potentially be redirecting it into the supply line, which is curious.
It's a supply line there. And then from the pumps here comes back through this one and should get hooked up down onto that bottom manifold there soon.
There's probably
So
going
it's
to
still going.
There's probably going to be a skid involved. I don't think they'll direct connect it.
Yep. So for now, it still appears that the cryo and the static fire systems are staying separated here, especially since the outlet of the new pumps. When they could do something fancy in here, I suppose, couldn't they, Alex? Still up in here, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even clear the path for the static fire stand currently.
Yeah, it's weird that they're having it double back. I would have thought coming right out of the subcoolers, it would then go to the static fire stand, but I don't know what they're doing.
Yep. So we've got a purge line, I believe, here. It's going in at the into the box here, like they do at the launch site, with that spray bar across the centre. And they've installed the fan into the fan box.
They like their new fan box. I think it's cool though.
Yeah, they do like that. Yes, absolutely. So it's
Yeah,
sort
this-
of an upgrade to these things, isn't it?
yeah.
They didn't
It's
even
funny
use those
just-
before.
They have at the end of testing when they're detanking,
Yeah.
but not. It's funny this week though with the testing of the pump farm, but even with that fan, it was just covering all of pad B.
It's going to look nuts when when all the subcoolers are running at max and the pumps are running at max for prop load. I don't even think any cameras from the north are even going to see pad B. It's going to be just covered in clouds, especially if the wind's right. Like,
Yeah,
Be like Vandenberg all over again. Okay, so we're still
ignition, they'll
missing
clear up.
some. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Alex.
No worries.
I'm just moving your conversation. I apologise. Okay, so we're still missing 4 pumps. And this bit of pipe here is still going to go over there to go underneath to that manifold, the other end of that manifold for the supply. I guess there's still to hook that onto that. Have we got that pipe? It might be that one. No. Oh, it could be that one. No, probably not.
you know,
Okay. Oh, go on.
I guess I never really even asked Alex this. Do you know why they would go with 4 smaller instead of 2 of the larger ones for this?
More control. That's the only thing I can think of. Because for small ones, you have a lot more dynamic range than 2 large ones. 'Cause you can only spin your pumps. Be it for you only have a certain range of effective pumping. So splitting
like
it up.
be able to do faster flow or I should say slower and faster loads, more control over that, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it'd make more sense for other testing rather than prop load, but
So basically a greater range of flow rate and perhaps pressure.
yeah.
Once again, being in parallel, they're only going to increase flow, not pressure, aren't they?
No, you could increase. I mean, it depends how the pumps are set up.
You know, I wonder if they want to do that because when they go to static fire a ship, they have different loads they use for whether it's a spin prime or a single engine static for full engine static. So, if you want to keep the same count, you would have to then change your flow rate into your vehicle, which means you would want more control of how much you would flow into your vehicle, which would then explain wanting to have more control, so smaller pumps to do that. Maybe that's why they want to do it.
And what's interesting is they have some of those have shown up at Roberts Road.
Yeah, it is. That is what is interesting. I wonder if that's going to be part of a static fire stand there, or if they're looking to change, being able to control their counts and their flow rates during launch more. Maybe.
So I see down here where they may hook that into there. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with this end yet. It seems like that's a smaller pipe and that's a larger pipe. It almost seems like they're going to come further back and actually include the older tanks as well, perhaps. I had an idea for a long time that I'd only use these 4 tanks for the static fire, but that difference in size of pipe there now makes me question that.
It's
And
just for a higher flow rate.
Okay, so
Main
it still
reason.
could hook into there, do you think? Perhaps?
Yeah, if you look, all the smaller, all the tanks at pad B flow into a larger manifold and supply pipe.
Cool. Okay. That's because of the weather. This on this flyover, we had some amazing photos and quite a few good angles. There's Fred, the regular pilot today, so they could fly a little bit closer to the border to get these more down photos. Now they've taken this expansion joint out again over here. Maybe they might replace these burnt pipes, or maybe not. Once again, this system's not really needed for quite some time because, once again, they've got no booster. Got no booster to put onto these. We're still at this thing through here, this pipe that seems out of place. If Alex has taught me anything, if there's a pipe out of place, it's could possibly just for testing. So it does seem to be hooked up to a solid pipe on that end, but also we haven't seen this before, but it's hooked up to a solid pipe on this end as well.
I mean, they really like making closed circuits when they're testing.
Yeah. Oh, and there's not a lot of change to that static fire stand. Notice while we're here, this is a good photo. I didn't notice this photo before. It's a good photo to show this little area, which is a bit of interest as to perhaps which way around the plumbing may go. So the main cryomethane looks like it may go into the tank around the back of the tank, and then perhaps the rest, the pressures, the gaseous ones, and the methane return may actually end up going around just behind the wall. Let me just look at that. There's a better photo over here of how that may look. So they've got these new racks through here, which are quite wide, so it could handle quite a few pipes. So perhaps the cryo from the pumps comes around this way into the trench, and perhaps the gases come through this way. We can see over this end there are those gas lines coming in over here, so it sort of indicates that is the gas line run.
It's also the propellant run.
And the propellant run this way, so
No,
what
it
indicated
doesn't.
that?
The propellant runs along the front as well.
From over here somewhere.
Yeah, I mean it looks like the liquid nitrogen supply for the subcooling is running that way as well.
Oh, here it is. Over this end, this is the photo I was looking for. So off the hippos here, off the top of the hippos here. So, okay, they could go around on the top of the rack here and around that way.
Yeah, it's a detanking valve train. It's a pretty good indication of it. You can just see
sorry.
You can just see the orange actuator for that sled right down there. Yeah.
Yep. The methane return through here. So what do you think's going on this back rack?
They're probably the stuff that's being stored, the gas that's being stored underneath that tank is probably going to run that way, and potentially the fill lines for the fill stations for the side of the farm.
Okay, cool. So originally we thought this was going to be where the cryopipes and everything were when this war was first started, and then those racks showed up. So we're a little bit confused there for a week. But so perhaps all these pipes are going to come along here.
Yeah, I mean that cableway is quite petite.
Actually,
much
on
wider.
that as well, these racks end here, and there's no more placement for more racks to continue that run around here anyway, is there?
Hammer drill and some Hiltis.
Sure. Oh, there's a picnic table.
And there's the template because they're still drilling holes for this. by the light stand at the bottom of the frame.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. They've even got a string. Is that a string line they got up as well? Is it?
That's our safety.
Oh, that's a fence.
Safety first.
It's a fence. It's a
I
string.
see. Very good. So things are popping along at the methane farm here. It's back at this photo. I guess they've been doing a bit of work on this set of part of the methane return system.
Bog
Down here looks like
management.
sorry.
In bog management, boil off gas.
Mhm.
Yeah, bog. Yeah. And here you can see they're getting ready to hook up methane supply side, which has got a T here, which suggested maybe they've left room here for another tank to feed off here, perhaps. Some pipes running underneath. Looks like the chillers, hippos. What are you calling these, Alex?
They're reboilers, kettle reboilers technically, but
Kettle
they're just heat
reboilers.
exchanger. Yeah.
Yeah, just a nice heat exchanger is really all it is.
Heat exchanger. So this week there seem to be more of them. That is the nitrogen system down here, yeah?
Yep.
Seems to
And
be
it,
more of that hooked up. Oh, there's the nitrogen run coming in too. Okay.
yeah, it's going to be supplied from the main tank farm. Or not. It doesn't look like they're having a secondary tank.
Oh, I see. So that's that extra pipe. I was wondering what. There's a couple extra pipes I wasn't sure of down in that train. So
It
one of
makes
them
sense
is.
to go off the main supply.
Yeah.
So one of these may actually come back the other way for liquid nitrogen, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, they're running liquid nitrogen in there anyway.
They did before, yes, that's right. Yep. From over here, there was liquid nitrogen. Yeah, here somewhere. Right there.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, that kind of starting to. So as things, I mean, we speculate every week how things are going to be run and what's going on, and then something else shows up. So, but eventually everything sort of shows how they're going to be set up. So it's good to see every week. All the
Biggest
new
question
advancement.
is can they do cryos on that static fire stand eventually? That's what I want to know.
Well, isn't it part of cryo testing, part of puck shucking as well? Wouldn't it? Is that not a thing, or do you think eventually they won't have to do that?
At some point, you shouldn't need to be puck shucking every single ship. You shouldn't need to be doing that. They don't do it with Falcon 9. You shouldn't be needing to do it with every single starship or booster. Eventually, what you should be able to do is build the vehicle, install all the engines, cryo it, and then static fire it, and then it's flight ready. Is what you should be able to do. So, which means, while I think the cryo stations will stay for stuff like, changes or other things like that, or anything, or if they feel like they need to puck shuck a certain ship, they can do it. But overall, what they should be able to do is build a ship, put the engines in, put it on the static fire stand, roll it out, cryo it to make sure everything's good, then load it up and static fire it. And then bring it over to the launch site, stack it on a booster, and launch it without ever having to bring it back to the hangar. Is what they should be able to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just for quality. At some point, it'll just be quality controls that they'll probably randomly select and do the whole battery of tests just to check their production.
So on that question, then, Alex, should they be able to use this system to cryo test? It's basically propellant loading, isn't it?
The previous wasn't hooked up for running nitrogen into the methane
Oh, gotcha.
slide.
Yep, of course.
I mean, you could do your proofing with methane; it'd be a bit more accurate. They're also hooking up the flare stack.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what I was leading into. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. So is that a complete new run, isn't it? Or they just upgraded the old run?
It's a new run.
Because it came from over here, wasn't it, before? Somewhere.
Yeah.
That may even be the old... Oh, maybe not. Oh, is that the old one there? No.
That's a curb and a small. The pipe wasn't very large. It was probably a 4 or 6 inch.
Yep. So that's come from the, what do you call it? The bog gas area?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have that much volume, so they're just not collecting it and using it for anything interesting.
They should be doing that at the launch site too. But anywho, or you know,
Shh.
Okay, maybe onto the fluids bunker. Oh, sorry, Alex, go ahead.
No, I was just saying they get the micro turbines at the launch site.
Yeah.
So maybe onto the bunker over here. The roof, we can see here, looks like the roof steel is here. So as opposed to this type of roof, which is just formed and then the formwork's taken away, over here they're going to leave the steel. The steel will stay behind.
Potentially.
Where's
I'm
it?
not 100% sold that that's not going to be for the front covering.
Covering all this
Yeah.
with a concrete roof.
Yeah, you could pour deck over the corrugated decking.
Well, there are posts, you know, rather because they wouldn't need posts, would they, if it was for over here? Because they've already got their
And
posts.
and on the it's only the columns, the weld plates. There's none on that side wall if they were spanning it, or even at the central between the two sections.
Okay, that's a good point. I know, so they're still there for one of the roofs. That sounds kind of logical what you're saying there, Alex. They've done a little bit more work in here, not a great deal. I was a straight down shot of that somewhere just here.
Slowly but surely putting this together. Well, I don't know about slowly, but they're going pretty quick, I guess. Considering. Still a lot of work
Absolutely.
left though.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
it's great
Yeah.
practice for the ship cutie because they're pretty much all that central gear is on the cutie arm or the ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some cryo lines have been installed. I think that skid's new this week.
That one is, yes.
So I said a little bit of pipe work over here. Oh,
I
cool.
wouldn't be surprised if this template gets used, or at least this fluid bunker template and everything gets used over at the Cape for a ship static fire stand. Would not be surprised.
Another nice shot straight down the flame trench. You can just see the flame bucket down there. Because the QD frame's up. They've added these couple of bars here for, I guess, for pipe racking to go up the side. I think there's a better shot of those over there. Okay, we got any questions for masses, Joe?
Indeed, we do. Sorry about that. Getting a little used to the new question bot software, but I do have a question from Daniel. If the damage isn't too severe, could they use test tank 17 or /18.1 and its aft section for testing pad 2?
It is missing. It doesn't have the QD hardware for starters.
They could do fit checks with the clamps and the hold on arms. That's about all they could do. And they would have to lift it in with a crane. So that's about all they could do. So
How about some slappy?
Probably not.
no. It's not the right tank for it. you would want to forward with the truss to do an accurate test of that.
There you go. That clears that up. And a question from Levon. Could the Ship 36 explosion have sped up the Massey's modification process?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and to
Sped it up,
Stephanie's,
forced it. Didn't speed it up, it forced it, basically. But yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Absolutely.
and to Stephanie's point with the smaller lock supplies, well, that's just remnants of when it was only going to be a proofing station and not moving the volume of propellant for the ship and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, perfect. That's all I got for Massey's here.
Okay, now we've covered everything at Massey's. Let me have a quick look. I think so. There was the front building. There is some that steel has been moved around. This is what sort of made me thinking that this hardware may be for this stand, and maybe they'll use it again one of these days soon.
I don't know what you would need to use that for unless they need to test Block 3's nose cone. Really.
Yeah.
Other than trying to test Block 3's nose cone, that cage is worthless. Like
There's some round bits
legitimately and
here
utterly
too.
worthless.
There's some round bits here too. Look like they may fit in here as well. And look, I don't know. I wouldn't discount this test stand just yet. We'll have to keep an eye on it. So, go on.
As just for the fact that they haven't scrapped it yet doesn't mean they're still going to use it. Just look at the scrapyard.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, just put that statement out there for SpaceX. They have a trouble with scrapping things. They need a scrapping party every once in a while here.
So
They
I've
need
moved
more.
this junk, and they haven't put the second platform up yet. Still, obviously.
Well, back to our scrapping story.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So we've had a lot of questions about the algae, but the / water hyacinth. It's actually water hyacinth. Dave Avery, he's here in Discord. He gave us a really good description of the times that he's been down there visiting Starbase, of how this water hyacinth sort of comes and goes. It blooms and gets quite a lot of it there. Then a tide will wash it out. This is very tidal, this river here. So when a tide comes in and out, a lot of this gets washed out again. It sort of just comes and goes, that water hyacinth. There's a bit of a mind of its own. Don't know why, but recently it just seemed to come up in the chats quite a lot. Hello, pussycat. Okay, well, let's move on to Sanchez then. Sanchez. Here you are.
We go to Alex's favorite thing. Is his most favorite thing.
Which one?
Just 1 second first, before we go there, just hold that thought, Ryan. Just let me quickly have a quick look at Rio West. It's pretty well advancing as we would expect. I don't mean to cover this every week, but it doesn't hurt to have a quick drop in every now and again. And while we're here, we can have a little look at... Do you think this is someone suggests this may be the new police station, which may be. It has ATV parking, we know that, and compact parking, whatever that means.
I don't know. It's
And
something.
over here... Oh, sorry.
Are they having a local police station? I thought everything was just contract out to the sheriff, so they wouldn't need their own.
We saw an ad for a law enforcement officer for Starbase over the last couple of weeks.
I was about to say, I think they're actually going to have their own force at some point. I think is what they've decided. I don't remember, though. Maybe I'm wrong.
Looks kind of to me like a secure location for heavy equipment, possibly.
Yeah, the gravel section looks like it's more for storage than...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yep. I mean, these young engineers, you got to keep an eye on them. They get a bit rowdy, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. The fencing is suspicious.
Up onto the this was just before the next pour, I think, at the build site, Gigabay, and they do have the ice machines here ready. So maybe there was a pour about to happen. Not the ice machine, the ice transport containers. And a big line of trucks.
Definitely getting good use out of this thing.
They're fully stocking it up with gravel all the time, or aggregate and so on. Some bricky sand and some aggregate.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan, like 4 or 5 years late, but hey.
Right? I mean, they literally could have used this when they first started Starbase. The amount of concrete they've used, it would have been worth the money times 1,000.
So how's it go? A shovel full of cement, 6 shovelfuls of bricky sand, a couple of shovelfuls of aggregate. Chuck it in the Mixmaster. Is that how it goes? I think it's a bit more bigger bulk than that somehow. Okay, now we'll go to Sanchez. There's a photo of that storage lot somewhere around. The only thing different at the storage lot, there's some vaporizers moving. I didn't notice this in the Chantel. Look at all the prefab concrete panels for the apartment building all lined up here.
Yeah, that's their spot where they station themselves, the queue, basically.
Okay, at this little building, Grand Fab building. I keep calling it GC building. It's actually Grand Fab. Bit of pipe work going on. Oh, there's that expansion joint from the Massey's near the booster cryo station. Not sure what they're doing with that little part of the Massey's. Onto this stand. This shot was better. So these landing spears. I'm trying to find a different word than balls, but these landing spears.
I mean, it looked like a ball bearing. A billiard ball.
So they seem to have the surface prepped for these to be bolted in. It appears like there's 2 rows of bolts to go into 2 rows of holes down there. They appear to be ready to put them in, but they're not quite there yet. This area's been cleaned up a little bit. There's a couple of things missing from here. It looks like they've just moved that one over to there. And it looks like they're maybe refurbing these to have these sticky uppy bits. That's a technical term, by the way. Maybe getting changed to these ones. Not sure. It's hard to tell what they're up to some days. These platforms, there's been no movement on them. I guess a big new bit of hardware news in Sanchez this week would have to be the beautiful covers for the back of the locks and methane quick disconnect hoods. Some people say they're beautiful, some people say they're ugly. Each to their own, I guess. This photo shows them good. We can see some of the... They're not going to put that ring back in here, are they? They're going to put that ring in the scrapyard, aren't they? The ship static fire ring. Surely. They're going to put it in the scrapyard, aren't they? Please?
They can put in the new rocket garden just for you.
Yeah, just for you. I don't know where it went. All I know is it went to Sanchez last night. But I think it'll go there until 38's ready to go. Once 38's ready to go, then they'll scrap it, like they did another certain thing. So that's my expectation, anyways.
Very good. We can see some of the MacGyver system here. Our favourite system ever. There may be a closer shot here of that. It's only minor detail. Is that part of it too? Is it being unloaded still right now?
Yeah, it's being unloaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the beautiful hoods for the back of the Booster Cuties.
I hate you so much right now.
Oh, there's the bike. So there's actually two here. They just got them sitting together.
It's such a. I will agree though. It is such a Soviet design with some of the stuff that they do. It really likes the Soviet Union.
What do you call it? Cybertruck design too, sort of.
Yeah. That boxy. I was it yesterday driving around, and I was the first time I'd ever seen two Cybertrucks close to one another, and I just think to myself, man, they just look so bad. Like, my God, they look terrible. It is one of the ugliest cars I've ever seen in my life.
Big opinion going on there. Everyone's to their, what they call it, beauties in the eye of the beholder. A lot of people like
Right.
A lot of people like
them or you hate them, right?
A lot of people like them too, don't forget.
I mean, if you like that SR or F-117 facet look, it's beautiful.
Okay, we're here for rockets, guys. Come on. Not much movement on that contraption. That's the word for it. We'll just leave it at that, contraption. I guess we're calling it a breakover device. I'm pretty sure they're from the site. We saw them on the ground near the bunker over there. Here we've got the manifold for the 6 small water tank at the water deluge farm. It was delivered. They tried to fit it and then they brought it back. So obviously something was a little bit off, so they're just adjusting it. What'd you say, Ryan? Measure what?
You cut once, measure, and swear a lot.
Yeah, yes. Whatever it is. It's, yeah, you usually want to measure before you cut and fabricate something, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. So, speaking from experience.
Yeah, you should field verify before trusting plans. Just saying.
Oh, chat's chatting away nicely over there. G'day, chat. I'm not really looking at chat. Okay, and we can see some more of the shielding for the GC bunker next to the flame trench. We seem to be long from calling it the gantry, aren't we? We seem to be dropped the gantry name. So it's never really a gantry. Just while we're here, let's see if there's another photo. There's more of these hood doors arrived. I think there's only 2 now to be found, or 3 still to be found.
I think there was 18 total been counted. I don't remember though.
Yeah, that sounds right. So we see a couple of sets of attachment points on them in this photo. Sort of, you imagine something like this would need more than one attachment point to control its lift and angle. So it appears we've got we can see both sets of attachment points now. Now these might not be a stationary hinge point. These may be a moving hinge point too, depending on how the linkages are set up. There's still a bit of speculation which way up these are going, still whether that's the top or that's the top. So I hear a few different stories, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. I think so. I pick which way. Alex, you were thinking maybe this is the top over this side.
No.
No, the other way around.
Yeah, because the more inboard holes look like they'd fit between the opening and the outer arm. The arms go through the slots.
Yep.
So, and since there's not a lot of room, having those low, that mechanism in the arms, it would have some interesting geometry.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the geometry, actually. Okay, what else is down this end? I think we had a good shot over here. This one might do. Well, just the old power plant. Seemed to be the parking spot for the transport gas production system. What are you going to call them?
Yeah, which I haven't seen them use in a long time, honestly.
Yeah, so I think most of their vehicles can freestand without being balloon pressurized.
Yeah, after all this time, they finally added so much weight and structural integrity to the vehicles that they don't have to keep them pressurized while moving anymore. So they don't need them, really.
This area's being tied up, so I'll keep questioning about diesel, but I guess there are diesel generators here why they would need so much diesel, but I think having bulk diesel also allows companies to take advantage of price fluctuations in diesel. So still no sort of indication of these being refitted with generators yet. I'm kind of half thinking they're not going to bring generators back, diesel generators back at least. But we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. All those embeds have disappeared, so all in the... They've used them all up in the steelwork over Gigabay. Oh, there's a couple left, maybe a couple of extras.
No,
Is that like when you put something together, there's extras and we've done something wrong?
there's still 2 sections that haven't been poured that
Yeah,
were
there's
before.
Pretty true.
Yeah, the one they poured last night, and then there's 2 more. The 2 more sections they gotta pour. So, which I think they're doing.
Soon.
No, they're not doing. So very soon, at some point here.
Only older Aussies that understand a reference about go, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so those frames have returned and painted. So I think we saw at Florida that the QD arm they disassembled actually had cryo pipes up on top, so perhaps that's what these are for containing the cryo lines. I'm not sure they'd need a cage. I'm a bit confused with that, but I guess we'll see soon.
I mean, one of those is clearly railing for a walkway.
Perhaps this one. Oh, it is too, I see.
And it's a walkway with railing.
And there's 2 on the other side as well.
Yep.
And then that cage is for the cryo lines.
Or they're making a very large walkway across the top.
Yeah, or that.
Because it has all those angle bracing.
Or it's the extension. I'm kidding.
And Steph, there's your anchor bolts by the comm hut.
Oh, hiding. Gotcha. I hate it when Alex does that. Oh, there's your thing. I'm going, where, quick, where. Oh, there. There's some more shielding too. They got that stuff set all over the place.
They have the best inventory system.
It's truly one of the greatest of all time.
The GOAT system, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is pretty well kitted out. You were saying at Massey's how that what's in the bunker, all that gas, the center section of the bunkers. This is what you're talking about here, isn't it, Alex?
Yep.
So I guess that's so they can bring just a few lines in, do all the switching here rather than having lots of lines come through the join from the tower, I guess. Because I was just wondering why that can't be in the tower itself, but I guess it needs to be nearby. There's still quite a few go up through the pivot there. There's quite a few pipes in there, yeah.
It looks so much better than the one over on the circular thing that's over there. At least that tower. We're just gonna call it the circular thing. But it was always funny to me looking at that ship QD arm when you zoom in up close to it. Some of the routing of that piping was just bad. Like it's just like they kind of threw it together, and it just looks clean. now. I love it.
What makes it a good system was a casual question in chat. There's a couple of reasons why the new systems they're using are so good. One, they're modular. They're repeatable, like they're easy to mass produce, basically, to make more of them. And it's all uniform across all the different sites now, not just sort of made on the spot. Like Pad A's pump farm, it's all sort of built in situ, but now with Pad B pump farm, it's all very much modular and just such a much better system all over. Okay, let's move on. We're doing good with the time. I believe so we'll go to the Rocket Garden. I'll go to the scrapyard next. Which is not much to report on the scrapyard this week. It's much the same as last week.
What do you mean? There's a pretty big thing. They scrapped the ship stand.
Yeah. Now this was an indicator of perhaps they're going to shift their ship transport stands over to more of the booster style transport stand, which would be awesome because I know I'm not alone in saying this, that really over the janky chain system that they have to tie these things to the SPMTs. So it'd be nice to see a proper ship transport stand.
Which, if they do that, then I would expect the steel and other stuff to start showing up relatively soon to start getting to build it. But of course, they don't, in theory, need a ship transport stand until they want to stack 39 onto 18, which, I mean, at this rate is at least 6 months out. So
Now, there's a couple of thoughts on that too, because they say 39. Okay, needs to first it needs to be cryo tested, so it goes to Massey's on the cryo stand, and then comes back into the bay, and then it gets its engines fitted, then it goes straight onto the static power stand to Massey's, and then we assume that they can use the static power stand at the launch site as well to transport to the launch site, so they may not need the ship stand as much as we might think moving forward.
I mean, I highly doubt they will go straight from Massey's to the launch site with after a first static fired Block 3 ship. That's going to go straight into Mega Bay 2 and get work done and get looked at before they stack it. I mean, they might use the static fire stand to do it if they don't have a transport stand available, but I kind of highly doubt they'd go straight from a static fire to stacking. At least not yet.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
so
and unless they're...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and unless they're stacking immediately, so the static fire stand is a unique piece of kit, making normal transport stands would be a lot more efficient.
Yeah, and with only being one crab stand, static fire stand, they need it for other ships to be static fired as well. So they can't just use it for stacking at all times. They would need it freed up. So they need transport stands one way or the other.
Cool. Appreciate his input. So I believe there's 3 boosters now here in Rocket Garden. We've got to remember how to name them. We've got 15, 2, and 17, and I believe 12 is back here.
Mm-hmm.
12 with all its... So we'll come back to 12 in a second. There was a quick question about ice at the concrete plant. They use ice to control the curing of the concrete. So either for transport or for the actual final curing. When you're dealing with thick concrete, you have to deal with heat. So they can use concrete to help with heat energy in concrete as it's going off. Yeah. The concrete cures, it produces heat.
Exothermic reaction.
Because it's a chemical reaction, yeah.
No, it's exothermic. It gives off heat. As opposed to endothermics that requires heat.
Yep. A bit more work. I think there's only one of these missing that BJ was saying. A bit of work still going on those platforms. We've got the old stand laying down. I think they did this a couple of weeks ago. Old stand laying down, new stand standing up. Sanchez. I think we've covered Sanchez.
I just realized they're gonna have to modify the other stand again, too. Because if you remember, when they originally introduced the first, well, it was the 2-point lifter at the time, for ship. They had the stand that the 4-point lifter is on right now. So they had that, and then they had to then modify and make it taller for the 4-point lifter because of the way everything changed and Block 2 got a little bit taller and everything else. And now it's shorter again because they moved the the catch pins up, and the sockets are gone. So they had to modify those stand twice. Funny.
Okay. We'll go to Megabay 2 in a minute. Megabay 1 in a sec. Okay, Joe, got any questions? More questions for Sanchez, please.
Yeah, sure do. But I want to first thank 55 Chevy Guy Steve for 5 gifted memberships. Much appreciated for that support. And right here in the middle of the show, just a quick reminder, everybody hit that like button for us, please. Question from Crane Man. Could the pipes in front of the GSE building be an indication that the SQD extension is being built inside?
Probably not. A lot of those pipes, if you look at them, it's kind of apparent where they're heading. And without going deep in the weeds, you'll just have to trust me.
All right, sounds good. Question from SJ. Where are all the pipes on the racks in Sanchez going?
Oh, over here, yeah.
Yes.
There's all these pipes here. Maybe some for the ASU unit. There's quite a bit of, like you were saying, Alex, there's a bit of pipe work to be run for the ASU unit.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you got a good deal, you got a good deal. But
It's kind of a combination of things, would be my guess. It's ASU, plus they're kind of stocking up on inventory if pipes have issues or breaks and they need to replace them. And then not only that, they're going to need a lot over the next 2 years to modify Pad A. So might as well stock up now.
and hopefully replace the pipeway heading towards the fill station.
All reasonable explanation and expectations.
I did just say a quick question, Joe, that's not marked. What's going on with the retention wall and that back here? They've continued the wall along. They've taken the formwork off. There's a hole there for the drainage to go out. So that's about all that's going here. And they probably will, I'm guessing they're going to continue this wall work all the way around, and even perhaps this walkway all the way around. I think even maybe all the way around the whole site, all the way, I should shut, even all the way around here, right back to the highway perhaps even. Or at least to here somewhere where there's a guard shack perhaps. Thanks, Joe.
Sure, yeah. Next question from Sharpie. What will be the fate of Sanchez? Both Pad A and B are completed in a couple of years.
Build another
Completed.
factory.
Completed? What is that word? What is this word you speak of, completed?
What's completed?
Making its intense operation.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're talking 3-4 years down the line once all of the operations at the launch site are up and running, Massey's is up and running. I mean, they can still use this to build out stuff for other pads because, of course, they got to build everything for 39A, got to build everything for 37. And I mean, if you can build it at multiple locations and just ship it, you can do that because they built the ridge cap for 39 here. Because they already did the first one, might as well do the second one here. They might even be building the ridge caps for 37 if they ever get pads at Vandenberg, pads at 49. They'll still be building parts here for pads and other Starship related stuff for a long time. and just be part storage for things if things break.
And
perhaps rocket
Yeah.
parking area too, like Elon suggested. Maybe rocket garden in here yet.
Maybe a massive hangar, no work stands, but basically a just hangar to store ships and boosters if they're not getting used.
barn.
Yeah, just a big barn basically. Wouldn't be that hard to build that.
Yep.
You don't need a bridge. You don't need a structural integrity for bridge cranes. You don't need work stands, work platforms. You literally just need an open barn with doors to roll rockets in and park them. It really wouldn't be that hard to build. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to build one at Sanchez at some point.
Super duper Gigabay.
Huh.
From Moody Blues. Thank you, Joe.
Sure enough, yeah. Question from Stephen Lewis. Will the ship and booster use a common clamp style?
No.
Simple enough answer.
Yeah, they're two
Ship and
entirely
booster.
different operations required. Ship's a lot lighter. Well, not a lot, but it's lighter and doesn't need that. Plus, you need a clamp system that'll work for stage separation. Booster needs it to be held down onto the mount and then have that system get away for liftoff and everything else. It's just they're two different requirements for it. They're not going to make them the same.
Absolutely.
All right. A question from John Malikin. Could they move the QD connection?
Cut off there, Joe.
Sorry, Joe, you cut out. Could they move the QD? What?
Yeah, from John Malikin here. Could they move the ship QD connection point to the side of the ship?
Side of the ship?
Side. The side of the ship.
It's on the side of the ship.
I mean,
already.
It is. It is technically the side of the ship. I don't know. Its side is relative.
With all due respect, we're just trying to work out what you're actually asking there. It's a good question. Like, there's never a dumb question, but we're just trying to work out what you're actually asking.
No, I was just making a joke. Side is relative. It technically is the side of the ship. If you mean side of the ship as in to the flap, I mean you get to issues with the heat shield.
That side. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what he means.
Not the
port or
belly,
starboard side.
Yeah. That makes sense. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah,
cool.
As a cylinder, it only has top and a bottom.
Yeah. That's the joke I was making, yeah.
Yeah, it's infinite rotational symmetry, so yeah.
Yeah. It's already on the side, but,
the ship does have a windward side and a leeward side, so...
Yeah.
No, I don't think that ever moved the ship QD from where it is. For a number of reasons, where it is works perfectly. Fits the tower and the launch mount and everything. That's been working that way well. That doesn't seem to be an issue. They're going to change the QD, we believe, and may even be a dual port system, but not like the booster where they're on two different angles, because that would require two ship quick disconnects. So it'll be basically the same, a little bit of difference, but yeah, it'll still stay on the. It's not the belly actually; it's the back, isn't it? Thanks, Joe.
Right. And then Stephen Lewis, I think, elaborating a little bit on the last question, will they have to alter the static fire test stand clamps for version 3?
Only the clamping mechanism if they change the clamps, I guess.
Well, they've stripped it of all the clamping hardware for the most part, so...
Gonna get new clamps one way or the other. And they did the same thing to the cryo stand, and it seems like they're doing the same thing with the transport stands, except for instead of stripping the clamps off the transport stands, they're scrapping the stands. So I would say, yeah, they are changing. Everything's going to have to get changed over to whatever the new clamp system is, which we don't entirely know yet what the final version is.
The top of 18.3 does not really resemble.
Nope. Yeah.
But is that
the next
not necessarily
question.
an indicator yet being a test tank? So that's not necessarily an indicator yet because it's only a test article. They are leaving the ship QD at Massey's here the same spot. I'm not sure that was the question so it's not going. The ship quick disconnect's not going around there. There's still going to be the side that faces the plasma and the leeward side over here, and still the ship quick disconnect back here. So I can't see the actual position changing at all. Sure, the clamps, yeah. So you're saying that this test article gives a hint of the clamping system? I'm not sure about that. You could be right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I mean,
there's a couple of locators here, and there's a few little things on here.
I mean, it has to accommodate the new lifting, and it would just seem a little something to not have it.
There's really no indication of clamps at all. This would be part of that lifting rig, wouldn't it, to line the lifting rig up? Because they're 180 across from each other. Possibly. There's something here too.
Yeah, if you follow it, yeah, there's.
Too early to tell. Good question, though. Nonetheless, that is definitely something that we're all very much interested in finding out for sure. What's actually going to happen with the clamp systems? Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I think those three are the actual ship clamp. The three sort of weird channels.
Oh, like these ones here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I hadn't actually discussed that with you before, so I apologise for that. If you do have an idea there, thank you.
And that little round ball-looking thing is probably for data transport between and electrical.
Cool.
All right, my question bot crashed, and I'm reloading that, and my keyboard needs a new battery. So I'm out here. Hold on.
Right, Joe, I've got you.
I can fill in
Well,
for
then
you
maybe-
real
All
quick,
right,
Joe.
yeah, for it.
We got you, Joe. That's all right. I'll see you in a second.
Yeah, the next
Well, then
question is from John T.
oh,
He's
John.
asked, when will Pad 1 launch mount build start?
ASAP after Flight 11, I'd say.
Eventually. It becomes a question of how the company that's providing all the steel for those mounts, how much they can make of it at once, and how many sets. I would kind of expect the mounts for 37 to start, at least a mount for 37 to be started before that one, because 37 is going to want to be operational much quicker than Starbase, because it's easier. They'll be able to do more launches out of 37 quicker than they can do out of Starbase because they're the launch allotment they've got. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the launch mount start at Starbase for like another 6 months to a year, because they need the steel for the other ones.
And not to mention, they don't have none of the FAA documents have them having to operate additional pads at Starbase.
Yeah, that has to be cleared up
And
in some ways.
And it looks like potentially A's tower is going to be chopped up for a catch tower in the near term.
Until I get clearance. Just quickly, what are these white things again? We talked about this in show and tell.
They're part of the stands inside one of the mega bays.
Okay, not Gigabay steel.
Yeah, not Gigabay steel.
Thank you. Nice troll.
Just quickly over here, the wing system for Grover and its booms have been disappeared somewhere too. Here we go, Matt or Joe? Oh, here we go. Joe's back on by a little bit.
Yeah, and then our next question's from Mechazilla asking, are they going to modify version 2 booster transport stands to version 3?
Yes, we can see that. I'll show you that right here. They're already doing that very much as we speak. This one here will do. So they've got different arms, different clamp arms. They've got the new clamp system and the new landing system. So this is a version 3 booster transport ship, and over here we can see more of the booster version 3 clamp arms for another booster transport stand to be modified as well. So they're very much underway with that project. Thank you.
I expect as soon as 15 is gone, and this stand is done, 15 the stand they're using for 15 will roll over here and get modified as well. And then of course
And-
Absolutely.
17 stand will need it once they scrap 17.
And while we're here, those 8 feet could be for the start of a new ship transport stand.
Yeah, it could be.
Lovely.
Just going out.
Thank you. Yeah,
on
that was an
very
easy question,
fiddly.
Joe. Sorry, Joe.
Oh yeah, I do believe I may be back in business. I see my audio is still kind of flickering, but should be okay. I've got one last question here.
Sorry, you're 5x5, Joe.
All right, cool. Yeah, I got one last question that came in. We'll save it for the launch site.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to the build site. Not a great deal on the build side. Of course, we've got Gigabay. We'll go there, of course, first. There's a bit going on there. I seem to have 600 angles of Gigabay this week, which is awesome. Let's see, which one will we decide on? Let's go from a front view. Okay, they poured this slab over the top. So this is, I'm going to put in quotes, final concrete for the Gigabay in the aisle. So this is the aisle system here, the aisle section. And they're putting more soil down over here, not soil, gravel, what do you call this? On here and here and here for more of this flooring. And the steelwork, it looks like we're almost finished with the pile cap pouring. There's only this little section back here to finish now. This upside, this E laying on its side. Looks like this is going to be next, obviously, by the
It's already done.
So actually, sorry, this is already done. That's right. Sorry, apologise. And maybe this one's next then. So this is that floating floor system they use in the factory places, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it's pretty common to not join the two surfaces.
And they're isolating the verticals will be isolated from the floor slab, and they're attached to the bottom pile caps down there, and they'll put some kind of expansion joint or something around them. You noticed, was it you or no, it was BJ noticed that this laneway is not quite centered on the doorway here, which is a notch. I think you've said that they use that in places to key the pieces together, Alex.
Yep. I mean, I wouldn't read too much into how that center is offset slightly from the doorway.
Sure.
If
They did it just to drive the OCD people crazy, didn't they?
No, it's probably once the columns in the doorway are in, when you see it in context, it will make sense.
Cool. Now they're starting to bring in commodities. I'm guessing argon in this trench through here, which was also drainage. We had some funny moments with show and tell there with BJ in this trench over the last couple of weeks, but anyway. So looking like we've got some electrical conduits in here. There are conduits after all. Some electrical coming from through here. If you know, you know.
Be nice.
Be nice, yeah. And we've got some, I think, commodities coming from the Sanchez commodities farm that used to run to High Bay, and now looks like they're going to get redirected into Gigabay here. So just for context, that is this That's not it. That's not it. This one will do. From this little farm here, which is supplies argon and perhaps other commodities to the Star Factory and to the Gigabays, Megabays, and now the Gigabay. We saw that go in there quite a year ago or two, I forget. And some water over here. The Gigabay is flying ahead now, just for reference. This is an article by NASA Spaceflight, which is public. Just for reference, this is roughly what McGregor's looking like. So there's a bit of a difference
Roberts
where
Road.
Roberts Road, not McGregor.
Yeah, I knew that as soon as I said that. Roberts Road.
Yeah, the
4 o'clock in the morning. Give me a break.
at this point in time, I mean, this is already they're moving pretty far ahead. They're building what I think is they're building the center load bearing wall, and then they've got at least one operational tower crane at this point. But of course, it's always hard to get updated views of Roberts Road because it's in a badged area, so there's no public access to it. So
a difference here, I guess, is they're pouring the floor slab here. But Ryan, you're saying about something to do about available room for stage.
I kind of think they're doing it at Starbase this way because they're going to use the floor of the Gigabay to hold all the steel. Because they are very, very limited on space in Starbase to put stuff. As we've seen, Sanchez is full of stuff and everything else, so they'll want to stage the steel on the actual, there. At Roberts Road, the area they have to stage steel and park is like it's basically the production site plus Sanchez combined. If they were to clear it all out, it's a gigantic area that they have to stage everything they want to stage. So they're not space constrained. I think that's why they did it that way. But I don't know. Ask SpaceX.
Well
done with you. Well done with your writing there, Ryan. By the way,
thanks.
Different
and
foundation needs and ground conditions as well. But the steels, I mean, they have quite a bit of room in the front. All the prefab slabs.
We've got some room at Sanchez, I guess, too. But yeah, I agree with you there, Ryan. They definitely haven't got anywhere near the amount of room they have here is what they do at Roberts Road.
Most construction, you bring in your materials as they're needed. You don't have a huge... I mean, you have an off-site yard, but which they do for this structure as well on Highway 4.
Thanks, Ryan, for showing me that article and allowing us, well, not allowing us to use, but expressing that it is public info. So going there was not doing any copyright thingies. Because I'm very careful that I don't like to step on content creators' toes at all. Okay, we've got some elevator shafts. What are these ones?
Elevators.
There's like 8 elevators in this entire thing.
Wow. Okay, cool. I don't know why I didn't know that.
Wonder how many stairwells they have.
That's pretty well Gigabay. I think. Is there anything else to add to Gigabay? Another big difference, I guess, this Gigabay has the towers on the workstations rather at Roberts Road. They're actually here in the aisles, aren't they? They're a bit more out of the way, which kind of adds to what Ryan was saying earlier.
I could be wrong. I have been wrong a lot lately, so,
Oh, that's right. You two have a competition going, don't you?
Yeah. I ate more crow this morning because they decided to use the actual the 11K in, I think it was the SL8F or whatever it is, whatever config it's in right now, over at KSC to lift one of the flame buckets into the trench. So I ate more crow on that one. I thought they needed something more than that, but I'm wrong again. So I think I'm tied with Alex now.
Oh, yes.
Last 2 days.
I might have a quick look at my X account when we go over to the launch site. I think there's something on there public too about that.
Oh, come on. Bring up your Google search.
Oh, jeez.
That was so
Oh,
funny.
no.
You opened the door.
We have continental variations in what different products are called, and I kind of put my foot right in my mouth yesterday through show and tell. But anyway, it was okay. It was nothing bad. It was just funny as. Okay, so Gigabay, that's pretty well Gigabay. It's coming along nicely. It appears we're going to have a lot of floor concrete, like in the very short term here, as that's finishing. So we may see even soonish some of this crane stuff arrive even.
Yeah.
Still see they're using this for the gravel trucks now in and out of here, where they're using for concrete trucks for this pour. Someone I already answered the ice question, sorry. Okay, yeah, see this concrete's so thick that you got to have some heat control. I think Hoover Dam is where I learnt about that mostly, where they had to put a lot of pipe work into the concrete to keep the heat under control.
Yeah, a lot of. If the slabs, those pile caps were a little bit thicker, they'd have to do the same.
Cool. Now, Booster 12. Booster 12 has engines and shielding.
Mm-hmm. They've also cut out the autogen lines, and they already had the expansion points out, and then it looks like the pipes for the 4 methane vents all the way at the top, the top ring, have all been removed. And then all of the vents and valves look like they've either been had a cover welded over, or taped over. So this thing is looking ready for display more than anything.
So tell me more about the display. They've had to strengthen this booster. Is that what you were saying on the show and tell?
I don't know. I was more of a maybe. Looking at the pictures of the booster, I do not see any extra weld marks on it that might indicate that they did that. But again, I'm waiting for other photographers to get like close-up shots of it. But I actually don't think they really added anything internal. At least they didn't attach it to the tank wall if they did, from what I can see at least. But I could be wrong again. So I've got a running tally.
But it appears like they're setting it up so it doesn't need pressurization to be displayed. I think is sort of the your sort of overall thought.
Or they're sealing most of the inlet so that they can just less places for it to leak.
Yeah, so they can just pressurize it once and leave it that way. And if they need to add more gas, they can through the QD. But otherwise, they basically just trying to seal it is what they could also be doing.
Yeah, because if they didn't put an internal frame, it's probably going to stay pressurized most of the time.
Probably only need to pressurize the LOX tank, wouldn't you? Wouldn't probably need to pressurize the top tank. I mean, it's the strength is down here. So on this stand, we can see they haven't quite finished lowering it into the stand here yet, because we can actually see the engine bells. So it wasn't long after this photo was taken, it was lowered into the stand. And then transported out. It must have been you guys last night. Got transported out and moved to the rocket garden. Okay, we had a couple of questions back here at the concrete. They're not come up as questions though. There's a lot of concrete. Assume the thicker is to support the heavier areas. So, Alex, you're a bit of an expert here. So those thicker areas here. So asking.
The outer perimeter is in the center spine, are carrying most of the load and the wind load. The partition-ish walls are a little more to keep it from racking rather than carrying. Those are more for rotational forces. The side, the short walls, the main load bearing is, it's substantially thicker. There's some.
Now, what was the current concrete? Did we get a number off BJ? The number of concrete trucks so far?
We got
You'd have-
218 for the last pour, but I know it's over 3,000 for total since the start.
It's getting up there. Which, if you do even 3,000.
And someone
Yeah.
asked, who was that? Someone asked. Drew asked whether they had run out of concrete. That's why they stopped here. But no, they're just doing it in sections. It's very common for concrete, especially this size of a job, to be done in sections like this, just to keep it all manageable.
Unless there's a very good engineering reason for doing it as one monolithic pour, the logistics alone it's not worth it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so far they're in the 20,000 cubic meter range of concrete so far. I think it's pilings plus the pile cap plus what they've so far done for the floor. So
1,000 so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pour a number of years back at downtown LA's that was, I think, 17,000 or 19,000 cubic yards in, I want to say 14 hours. They had
Cubic what?
cubic yards. I mean, it might have been meters. But it was essentially they had, I think, 200 trucks just doing loops between 4 batch plants.
I'm sorry, I was just picking on you. Sorry, I was just pulling your chain.
I mean,
it's a lot of concrete.
Conversion. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, there is a booster there somewhere too. Booster 18's in there somewhere.
Just hard to see with the lighting.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got only half a booster on the front left stand in Megabay. That's not Megabay 1, in Megabay 1 now. Which means now they can start modifying those other 2 stands for Booster 3, version 3 up sections. So all the clamps have to come out. It all has to be changed, and they'll also be working on more of the platforms now up higher into the bay as well. Now there's no boosters in there. So version 3, sorry.
The shot into Megabay 2 showed kind of like those columns that were by the scrapyard, like the outer edge.
Oh, these ones here.
Yeah, I think those are.
Yep. That sounds about right. So they've also, I'm not sure they've done it yet too, they've also got platforms to add, or maybe they don't need to, but they've got platforms maybe to add to this front newsstand, because of recent months they've added another one of these work stands here in the front of the Megabay 2 here.
I thought that's where most of these were going, or I'm going to pass Ryan.
Yeah, I'm still confused whether they're going to Megabay 1 or 2, to be honest.
The white ones I think are going to 2, to that front left stand. Because they still have to do the work platforms for that front left stand. And then I think that all the gray ones are going into Megabay 1, as they are actually building work platforms for once, or at least increasing the amount of work platforms that they have for booster. Because I think they're getting sick and tired of using scaffolding every time they need to do it. Like the kind of weird work stand we saw sitting outside of Megabay 1 for a while. It's now sitting inside the front. The Megabay 1.
Oh, sorry.
It's now sitting on the right turntable, is what we expect. Basically, allow so that they don't have to have scaffolding inside the turntable. They now have a work stand inside the turntable. So, it's got a hole in the middle for the new transfer tube. So, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Megabay, yep. So you were saying earlier that at the moment there's only actual one flight vehicle in all of the bays. In all the staff packs, in both of the bays, there's only actual one flight article.
Yep.
Which we can just see 38. I think this is the shot.
Yeah.
We can just see 38 in here with some scaffolding around it. Hopefully, they're going to get rid of that soon. I thought there was another shot. Oh, that is the other shot. There's this shot here too. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. That must have been that shot. I thought we saw more of the nose cone in that on the... So the edge of the ship is over here, I think. I think that's the tile side, and this is the not tile side. Anywho, right, let's move on. That's the Gigabay, Megabays. Around the back, not much to report around the back this week, I don't think. Around here, well, that was here last week, they've returned that. They seem to have gotten rid of some of these small barrel sections. I think that was all in here. Yeah, that'll do it. Now, moving on to the apartment building. It's flying along. The apartment building is going so quick. We'll look at the front half here. Since I last saw, all this has been added since I've seen it. We have a little bit of confirmation. A big shout out to one of our regulars, Phil Kid. He's an architect. He's letting us know that this internal car park structure, parking garage structure, is essentially an isolated building, and here's one of the walls to hold up the floors. So essentially, this centre section, this centre car park section, is actually isolated from the outside, and I believe that's to keep vibrations and noises at bay. How we going? Still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, Yazata. So that's going ahead nicely. We're having a bit of a discussion about ramps. Looks like they might be, you're saying a ramp 3. What are you saying about the ramp, Alex?
It's probably just a center ramp. And
Yep.
or it'll be, yeah, it's kind of the normals that they've been doing with a lot of these prefab. You just have the flat parking elevations and a ramp up the center.
Cool. What else at Starbase? At the build site. So this apartment complex, these apartments, so slowly they're getting finished up. That's not a real high priority. It's certainly not going as fast as that apartment building, that's for sure. LBJ is looking like it's pretty well finished, just needs some painting. This little area here is looking kind of groovy, I guess. Bit of a kids' play area.
It's a boost. It's where a booster's going to go and get filled, don't you know?
Oh, that's right. Someone's joking these are 2 QDs for a booster here.
Love it.
That's a nice little fun area.
Oh, now I'm going to see. The Massey stand is going to have some slides soon.
I mean, wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, there'll be an image of that soon.
Yeah. Just wait.
Okay, let's go for questions at the build site. I've covered a few that weren't marked as questions, but I'm sure there's some that are marked as questions, Joe.
Oh, yes. And I want to thank Baz Top for a £2 super chat with a question. Could be prepping Booster 12 for horizontal transport test. What do you think?
No. Nope. They're not going to use any of those boosters for any of the completed boosters for horizontal transport testing, that's going to be either booster 18 or up, because the structural integrity of those boosters is not even remotely the same as a Block 3, not with that transfer tube. So, yeah. And the clamp system on the aft end of the booster is completely different. So, yeah, no.
I'm just going to jump in here quickly. Drew says, Massey's emergency egress slides.
Down to the rubber one.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, yeah, definitely. Got to thank you, Zada, for a $20 super chat saying, love the flyover, the show and tell, and the show. Keep Mauricio flying. Thank you very much for that support. Awesome. Yes, please keep Mauricio flying. Question from Gwen Ever. Any sign of the tower cranes parts for Gigabay yet?
Just their bases.
Yeah, there's some bases. Look, there's one there. There's another one there. And there's a couple over here. Some of them might be buried at this point. There's one there. And there's one. Must be. Where is it? Must be here somewhere. Just buried under the tarps here. Thanks, Joe.
All right. And I got a last question here from Fly Jake 314. Are they layering concrete, gravel, and then concrete?
Alex?
It depends where. I mean, there's going to be sand and gravel between the pile cap and the finished floor. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, concrete, gravel, concrete, yeah. And there was some sort of fill underneath the original concrete, wasn't there? Right down deep. Although they dug a lot of it out, didn't they?
Yeah, they compacted it down to, I don't know what it was, 4 or 5 meters. And I mean, that's the only reason you have those freestanding cuts. Because native soil would not have stood up.
Just wanted to interject real quick about the question about the tower crane parts. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I saw some pictures of one of the off-site locations that has a bunch of tower crane parts being stacked up.
Those might be the LR11K's boom.
Yeah.
Or
it might be that.
Or we missed it.
Have a quick look. I don't.
Because there's a couple like rotator sections and then, you know, other stuff there as well. So I had a feeling that might be tower crane parts.
What picture?
There's an old turntables there, but
I would have to go back and look in the thing, but I believe it was in batch 4 or 5. It's a very small off-site location.
Oh, here we go.
That's the one.
Those are
the 11K boom pieces.
The turntables that they're just letting rust.
I don't see any tower crane parts.
Well then, perfect. I was mistaken.
No worries, Matt. No, don't be like that. We very much appreciate your input, and they may have been here. We totally missed it, so for sure.
We missed things.
Congratulations.
All the time.
You're now on the scoreboard.
You're on a scoreboard now.
I will lead that scoreboard soon.
Please. We need some competition up here.
Right. I think me and Alex are like 4 or 5 right now. I think is where we're at. Something like that.
Yeah.
4 or
Stock
500.
up on Crow and you're freezing.
It's just in the last 2 days, so.
Yeah, literally.
Thank you, Jay.
Indeed, yeah, that's all we got. We can move on.
Okay, I guess you might want to go to the launch site now. Let's see. What do you reckon?
Do we have to?
See the glorious trench.
And the
They did some stuff
rusting.
here. They did some stuff there. They did a little bit over here and a little bit over there, and that's pretty it. So.
Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, great
let's
show,
start
guys.
with that. Okay, let's start with this down. Where's this nice down shot? I got so many pictures of Pad A this week. Pad B, I mean. Okay, they seem to be doing something with the clamps. We can see the pivot point that's been removed, or at least pulled aside. And you can see in here some of these chain blocks pulling them back out of the way. So perhaps they're getting this ready to lower in the receptacles for the booster down here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Other than that, it's all going on with the clamp arms. Moving on to, I think there's someone said there's, excuse me. There's only one panel. I had a comment once. There's that Aussie burping and farting again. Oh, sorry. It's early in the morning for me. This panel over here, one panel here was test fitted and then taken back down again. I believe it's fitted again now. Oh, we can see plumbing. So not much to report there. It's looking, as again from last week, we noticed just how clean it's looking underneath because of all the testing. They had another massive test the other day. Let me see if I can quickly grab that. So they've been doing lots of tests on the actual plane bucket. I'm not sure how many tests they're up to at the moment. Quite a few, I think. I do have a video here somewhere quickly from one of Vix's. Here we go.
It's like 7 or 8 at this point. I don't remember the exact count. It's a lot.
Big shout out to Vix for compiling these. This is massive. Look at that. Big shout out to Vix over on X. Please go and follow her. She's awesome at counting trucks and counting water tankers and compiling all these wonderful videos from Lab Padre's cameras. If you're not into Lab Padre cameras, please go and search for them on YouTube, and they're well and truly worth watching. Lab Padre's cameras, and well, NSF as well. Since Webby's here, we've got to also give a plug to NSF cameras too. There's been some awesome video from that as well. I'm just not sure about sharing NSF cameras on this particular streamer. I know Lab Padre allows it, so that's why we do that. No bias. It's a big community. It's what they call it. It's a good community between all the space content creators. It's a really good community. It's a big community. It's a very good community. It's the best community. Now, what else is on this side of the thing? The thing, the thing over here. There's water in there. Looks like they're finally getting this little area in here ready to concrete. Should be nice to tidy that. Yeah, finally, yeah. Especially just here. It seems to be forever to get this bit of concrete here.
I can't wait till it's all concreted and done. That'll be nice.
Yeah. So here it looks like we're somewhat correct in saying they're pumping water out of the trench one way or another and through these frac tanks and trucking it out of here. At least some of it. I guess all of it's going through there.
You can see the pump along that left wall on the bottom. Oh.
In the trench?
Yeah.
Oh, down here?
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on the limit of what you could pull using suction, so.
Oh, so they're pumping it up and lifting instead of sucking.
Yeah.
We should be able to see that better down here. Yeah. So we saw the hood covers there at Sanchez. They should be going on soon. I imagine they'll be putting the cryo flex lines in first. Because there was a couple of lines at Sanchez that may or may not be for here. They're still using heat pads. They're still doing some massive welding somewhere. You'd think by now they'd have all that Unless they've just
Either
got them
that.
sitting here waiting to do some welding somewhere up here.
It's probably waiting to weld the
Up here. Yeah, it's a good point. There are bolt holes there after all. True. Big bolt holes.
We lost Ryan.
We have Brian.
Matt said something. Now we're playing telephone.
Let's ask chat. Chat, can you hear Ryan? I can hear Ryan.
I
Yeah.
can hear.
I can hear Ryan. Alex can hear Ryan. Oh, hang on. Have we lost all audio? Oh, we've lost all audio, I think. 5/0. No audio. Get on it, Matt. Good on you.
Okay, now we can have a fun discussion.
I just lost Ryan. So have we lost chat? Have we lost all audio or just Ryan?
Looks
Just
like
Ryan.
it's
All right,
just
cool.
Ryan. Yeah.
What? I'm gonna mute myself in solidarity.
No. So Ryan, do you want to quickly jump out, Ryan, and jump back in for us, please? That seems to fix things. I don't know. Please come back.
Please come back.
All right, cool. Okay, let's see if we got in chat. Looks like we can hear you again. Just
You're
Ryan
gonna sing
again.
some Tay? You're gonna sing some. Okay. I mean, no, that'd be perfect. Then I jump in and the stream count would go 0.
I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure, chat, whether you can hear Ryan. So just to make sure, I'm just going to ask Ryan to speak now. Just say count to 5. So we know, so chat knows when you're trying to talk. And just see if chat can hear Ryan again, please. So count for me. No. Sorry, Ryan. No, all right. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe when you, maybe when he jumps out, maybe when you jump out, actually shut Discord down. Okay, still no Ryan, but I think they can hear us. Oh. Oh. Huh. I we can see him light up when he pushes to talk. I can see him light up. Anyhow, let's just deal with that for a minute, and we'll see if we can get Ryan back there. So appreciate your patience, everyone in chat there. Everyone's asking for Ryan to come back. Please come back, Ryan. And sometimes I've been cutting out. Okay. Apparently. What? Oh, Ryan forgot this week's sacrifice to the YouTube overlord. All right, sorry, Ryan. We'll just have to bear with us there, Ryan.
I'm back. You can hear me now? You got me now?
Awesome.
Hit chat. Can you hear me?
Good on you, Matty. You're awesome. Thank you.
Just chat have me back is the question. In 10 seconds.
Okay. There's 101.
There it is. That was random and weird. Never had that happen before. Right.
Okay, once again, chat, thanks for your patience there out there. These things happen. We're not a fully paid professional service, so things are bound to happen from time to time. And, Discord's terrible. Discord is so buggy.
I was gonna we could go back to the TeamSpeak days.
And hopefully we're still at Alex. You seem to have gone quiet on me. You're scaring me.
What?
Okay, there he is. Cool. I got my crew back. Awesome. Now I'm happy. That was scary for a second. All right,
Apologies,
thanks. Good on you,
Steph.
Matt. Digging over here, perhaps possibly some kind of drainage. I think sometimes these things look like an afterthought. Maybe because after the testing, maybe they found a heap of water, or maybe they're just going to put a drain through anyway one day, sooner or later. I'm not sure. But, they're digging some kind of drain.
I mean, there's a lot of precast drain stuff just to the right against the wall, past the tent.
Yeah.
I mean, would they do it in a way where they do the testing and then see how it drains and then be like, do we need to make any modifications to the drain system? Is that what they would do?
They were digging it up, I think, last week. I think they started this before the test.
Okay. I was just asking.
Someone wants a mosquito count from Vix. Come on, guys. She's a good countress, but that's pushing it. So this drainage could tie in with this drainage too, or it could have been planned. I mean, they do surveying. Drainage people pretty well know with surveying how water's going to travel mostly, I guess. Although they never really know exactly how much water was going to pump out of that flame trench either when they're testing the stand without a booster above it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
They knew they run the. You just got to run a computer simulation, and it'll pretty accurately tell you how much water and where the water's going to go. Maybe I'm pretty good with water sims these days.
I guess what I'm saying, so I might not have known quite how much was going to come out of the trench and how much was going to stay in the trench. But yeah, you're probably right, Alex. You're usually right on those things. Okay, so speaking of drainage work, they put the lift, I guess you call, thing in the ground. A lift station, so to get some groundwater, perhaps Alex is saying, and some drainage from the stormwater drainage. Going to lift it up and probably just put it out here. This waterway continues all the way through here.
Yeah, they're pumping water from a low spot and dumping it someplace else.
Yeah.
So the ferry may be connected with what they're doing on the edge.
Over here, yeah.
Yeah.
This week, finally, the water supply pipes showed up down in this area. The water supply coming at least from Sanchez. I'm not sure about all the way along the rest of the highway yet. I'm still a bit confused there what they're doing there. Just while we're in this general vicinity, over here at Hopper, I still like to call it Hopper, not Hoppy. They're doing some excavation over here, not quite sure what for. It's a bit of vacuum truck excavation. Oh, mate, it's still here. They're going to put more piles somewhere, I guess. It's unusual it's still here. Okay, let's go to the Deluge farm. Not much to report there, really. They've heaps of testing. Looks like they've got both this bank's working as well because they've had the flame trench ridge cap running, which are these 3 tanks, and they've had obviously the flame bucket running. So these 5 tanks, I can count to 5. And they haven't quite got these 3 up and running yet. This week we see these frames are what Alex has been saying they've been for weeks, that they're actually a roof for the gas generators. We should listen to Alex Marapan. Sometimes we don't.
Don't. But it'll be much better for everyone.
Okay, so there's some pretty good tests with these. The water flow coming out of these valves is quite spectacular. How high it's going. like halfway up the tower, almost to the top of the tower sometimes. It's quite a lot of pressure, and it's a pretty good system, I'd say. I bet you they're pretty happy with it. Still to put this gate, the butterfly valve in here. I think last week they had this poured. They just haven't pulled it down the formwork yet. Continuing more of the blast wall down here. Looks like this is part of that manifold up there. I think you're saying that little manifold up there. It's getting constructed down here. Why is it teed that way though?
It's for the ground.
Ah, of course, down here.
Yeah, look at
That's
the.
that elbow, that T down there,
Yeah.
yeah. Gotcha, of course, yeah, thank you. So that's pretty well the tank farm. Oh, we're already at time. Okay, that's it. Show's over. No, we'll keep continuing on. We've done well covering our time today. Thank you. I'm dying for this building to disappear, but maybe, maybe not. Talking about, was it, this was giving people, this new bunker, I think was giving people somewhat, was it Soviet vibes or like
Oh, yeah.
institution? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's giving
What?
Soviet Union vibes, that's for sure. Yep.
And we only say that in, there's nothing political in saying that. We're just saying that as it's kind of a style, which I'm sure everyone's pretty well aware of.
Brutalistic,
Yeah.
concrete outer facing, no finesse design to it. It's just as a matter of fact, that's the design. It's hard angles. That's basically like Soviet infrastructure, Soviet architecture.
And
Yeah,
there was a brutalism movement, I think, in the 30s.
that's
as
basically
well.
what that is. It's
Yeah.
yeah. It's not fancy in any way, shape, or form. It's just it's kind of brutal in the way it's built. It's weird. It feels out of
Almost made
place, but yeah.
almost made a
Symmetry.
starship shape.
Dog
Okay, there
bone.
was some testing going on. There's still a pump missing. There's a bit of testing going on with the methane side, and I think I'll just drop over this photo. This one looks like they were drawing methane from here. It's
Everywhere.
frosty.
Everywhere was frosty. The
Oh,
old
that's
tanks
right.
were
You're saying,
frosty.
yeah, yeah. Saying in here's frosty too. Down in here was a bit of frost as well. Was that right down in here?
Yeah, on the
Great.
supply line.
And on this supply
Yeah.
line too.
Yep.
And then in the supply off the small tanks as well.
Ep.170, frosty, yeah.
Yep.
So this is a new piece of pipe that got fine. I've been waiting for this pipe to come in for a long time. And this hooks the old methane farm into the new methane system. So now they can use the methane farm for pad A and B, and they can actually use these tanks. No, can they use these? No, they can't use these tanks yet, can they? Oh, they can use these tanks now if they had to. But you're saying that's not certified yet, Alex.
Well, no, they'd probably run it. They'd probably want to do a wet dress just to validate everything if they did. They might be able to do it just with the circulation, but there's no
actually a
valve.
link.
What's
Okay.
that?
So there's actually a pipe link now between these tanks and these tanks, so they can physically run methane from both methane sets now to pad A or B, I think.
Yeah, there's no valve between them, so it's
Although
common storage right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if that line gets disconnected and capped for flight 11.
This
But
one?
moving forward, it's probably going to stay just with the
Yeah.
change in diameters.
I would, yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
I just think I think it'll be
This
capped for
change
flight
in
11.
diameter.
Yeah.
This change in
Yeah.
diameter here sort of suggests that they're going to add methane to the play by using the old tank farm. If not just these two tanks anyway. that we may see these tanks disappear yet first. But once again, it's only speculation. Good ingredients for Crow.
Yeah, get rid of those small tanks, please, dear Lord. Do it. Especially the tank
Correct.
that has never been used.
Yeah,
It's just
That's the
that
best
one.
tank.
Yeah.
it's the best. It's so pointless. How long has the thing been there? 3 years now? Literally, it's been there since 2022.
Yeah, it showed up right after the pad volcano.
Yeah. So I would say mid 23. So it's been there over 2 years and has never been hooked in or used that I
Right.
know of. It's kind of hilarious. They need to get rid of that and all those smaller methane tanks and just bring in some new bigger ones and call it a day.
It's all quarantined off in its own little catchment basin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even
And
built a
then-
wall for it and everything.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
there's one.
Even a bigger wall than this wall. This is the big wall. That's a wall. No, that's a
that's
wall.
not a wall. That's a tripping hazard. It's not even really a
Okay.
curb.
No.
We're missing some vaporizers from the storage lot we just saw, and these are the new 5 ones here, which we saw the basis for last week. Still no more conduits being run here. There's like 1 million pipes down there and only a few conduits being run to them, so something's got to add to that eventually. Okay, so that's basically that half of the launch side, I think. Did we miss anything on the... Excuse me, did we miss anything in this area? I think we pretty well covered it all. Now, one thing to note, I think you were noting on the show and tell, Ryan, is how close they are actually to being ready to put a booster down here.
I mean, the purging and high pressure needs to get finished off. I don't know what's left on that side, on that lovely HU, whatever we want to call it. And then, of course, the primary, the pre-press, the return, and the supply lines all need to go in for the LOX and the methane side on the booster QDs. Do the alignment for the hold down arms plus the clamps and everything. Just finish off the stabilizers on the chopsticks. And at that point, they're ready to fill a booster with propellant on this pad. It's not that far away, relatively speaking. Heck, they're even ready to static fire him because the ridge and the buckets are operational. So
Yep.
they're pretty close to booster. For actual launch, they're still a few months away. There's a lot of ship stuff that needs to finish. Heck, it needs the QD arm. The blast walls still need to be finished. The other tanks, the plate needs to be hooked in and tested. The last methane pump needs to go in, and they got to test all that stuff as well. But in terms of booster, they're pretty close with this pad to get for nearly ready for booster testing. But ship will be a little bit longer. Hopefully by end of year, it's all done. But there's a chance it could easily slip into January. It depends on how long it takes the ship QD to be finished off.
I had a question in show and tell about the new attachment points. We can see here it's pretty well done. It's a little bit different to the old one. It's a bit longer back here and a bit of a different shape to the old one. It's so they can use this point here. Where is it? This point here. It's just here somewhere. I can't quite see it.
It's that if I remember correctly, I think it's the newer looking attachment point there.
And then
on the column itself. Because you see there's two attachment points.
Yeah.
That's the one where the actuator goes. Because right now it looks like they're going to attach the QD arm to the lower set. Because it's a block 3 booster and it's not as tall. Which means when they go to block 4 booster, they're going to have to take the entire QD arm and move it up. Which is not trivial. It shouldn't be too hard, but it's still something they're going to have to end up doing. And they're going to have to do it at 39A as well. So,
And
which will be
considering we
fun.
haven't even seen any parts for 39, there's still got plenty of time to get all that finished. Yazada comments that the pad seems to be ahead of the vehicles.
Oh, this pad will be ready far before the set of vehicles is ready. Long before.
And so are the test stands.
Yeah. All the infrastructure required to test and fly Block 3 will be ready long before the vehicles are ready to even use the stations and launch site. Those vehicles are so far behind. Or I should say, I don't know if they're far behind. They're just not ready. So.
And yeah, while we're here, a little shout out to Yazada. You've been very supportive over the years to me personally. Thank you. I sort of saw. I mean, you'll have to take a few things here. What I'm saying here. It's sort of the opposite on this pad where they had not a launch vehicle, but they had a vehicle. They had a booster on here, sort of way before the OLM was finished. I think they even had a launch before the OLM was finished here, didn't they? Like launch one, that really wasn't finished here, of course, for the water deluge. I understand Booster 4 was never going to fly, but it's sort of like the opposite with Pad A. They sort of had some sort of vehicles sort of ready as they were building the launch pad. But I guess they were different times and a whole different regime. Now they've got this new plan, new idea, this whole new way of doing launching and so on. So they're sort of going about it in a different way. Onto that, actually, Pad 1, I think we're up to there. The scarred one, the scrappy one.
Scrappy's giving it too much credit. Scrap.
I believe this frame has been taken off as well. Getting ready for a booster rollout. We should see a booster there. Like I think Ryan said just a minute ago, they're probably not in any great hurry to get the next flight. They've got a fair amount of time before they need the pad for anything else, as we were just discussing with version 3 airframes. So, do you think we'll get a launch of version 3 this year, Ryan?
Oh hell! And there's zero chance. There's negative 1,000% chance that it's launching this year.
Yeah.
Like the pad will likely be done by end of year. When I mean by done, I mean everything for ship and booster will likely be installed. Whether or not it's operational for flight, that's another matter entirely. There's a lot of little subsystems that still have to get finished off, and then they have to test everything. It's a brand spanking new pad. They're gonna have to run a lot of GSC testing and wet dress rehearsals and everything. And not only that, with the vehicles on board, because they're going to change their entire count with this new setup. So that's going to require testing in and of itself. And then not only that, your booster is half stacked. Your ship isn't even stacked. The minimum amount of time that they've ever done a ship is 5 months. And this is a new ship design with more changes than even to Block 2. At least I think with the engine sections are going to definitely have more changes. And they haven't even tested some of those changes yet.
And it's all version 3 Raptors too, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the other thing is it's a new engine too. Raptor 2 was being used on Block 1 between Block 1 and Block 2. This is Raptor 3. This is completely different. I mean, it's still Raptor, but there's a lot of changes to it.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Block 3. But I should say it this way: I expect Artemis 2 to fly before Block 3 does its first flight. Because Artemis 2 is slated for February. It's slated for early February right now. So
they're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Not at all. I stopped painting the legs. They've actually stopped painting the legs with paint, and they paint them with weld now, don't they? Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, no. If V3 flies this year, you'll have to put it on 37. Just label it. Call it good.
Oh, the engines, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll quickly look over at the ASU area. They've added a bit more wall, poured a bit more concrete over here. So that's still plugging along. Cause they're probably going to have the compressors here and the stacks here, and maybe some. Maybe they'll use buffer tanks over here, like you're saying, Alex, rather than slowly bleeding the commodities over to the tank farm. They might just fill up tanks here and then dump a whole heap over at once.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the size and what cadence they scaled it for.
Exactly. Well, last time I was asked if there's going to be somewhere, where is the line's going to come across? Well, they're marked there on one map, but they might come through here or here, somewhere. I think the last time Alex said was, somewhere.
I think probably by the entrance.
Just here somewhere.
Yep.
Alrighty. We'll go to questions. We'll try and work out if we've forgotten to mention anything or not. I think we're pretty right. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, sure. We got a stack of questions, but I first want to thank
Okay.
Jax for gifting a membership. And
Very good.
so we'll get started with questions here. Let's see. Scat 1975 did ask if Vix is counting mosquito larvae in the reclamation pond. Seriously, though, I'll move on. From D. Reed, are the four legs for the new OLM just sitting on top of a certain section of the wall? If so, it seems like a lot of weight for them wall sections to take when it's fully stacked.
They're as welded on to the wall and it form one cohesive structure.
And don't forget, there's like a whole lot of piles that goes down here, deep down underneath. There's a whole lot of underground here. There's a whole lot of concrete buried down in those piles.
Yeah, but I mean the load
sorry.
path is through the wall, and the vertical section that goes straight down, so about 20 feet of either side of the OLM. Yeah.
And you're right, it's going to be a massive load. It is going to be a massive load to have on top of here for sure. You're not wrong in asking the question of how is that how massive the load is. It is a massive amount of weight to be carried. But yeah, there's heaps of underground work going on. Thanks, Alex.
All right. I got to thank Martin for gifting a membership as well. And Chazbomb, a recent recipient of a gifted membership, asked the question, do you guys think they're going to completely rip apart the Pad A side of the tank farm when they do to revamp the pad? Please, God, say yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Everything is going to be gone from over there for the most part. So, shed your tears now, joy or otherwise.
I cannot wait for that to all go bye-bye. The ship duty arm to come off the tower, the sticks that come off the tower for modifications, because like if they go ahead and just modify these sticks rather than scrapping them and building a new set, they're going to have to take them off the tower, disassemble them, roll them back to Sanchez, mod them there, because they're not going to have any room to mod them at the launch site, because, well, they're going to be launching and doing a massive construction operation, so they don't really have any room to mod them. They'll have to cut them, do a whole bunch of shenanigans to them. Plus modify the tower. That is a whole thing in of itself to do. I am of the belief that they should just knock that tower down and rebuild it from scratch, but they probably won't.
I'm of the belief when they get their approval that when they go to the FAA, the actual Pad A is going to move, and that'll just stay as a catch tower. Refurbing that, as Ryan was saying, it's oh my god.
There is like all the plumbing in it is completely out of date. You have to replace every single line of plumbing with the new sized plumbing that's on the new tower. That's one. You have to relocate it all. There's not an internal staircase that goes from the bottom to the QD arm that's on the outside. It is a bespoke tower to say the least. Because I even the 39A one has the internal staircase, if I remember correctly, because they realized how they realized their error when they didn't do that to begin with. There is so much with that tower that needs changing to try to make it into a launch tower again is a pain. Like rereaving everything, there's a lot. Either uh,
I
if they
mean,
reuse it as if they reuse it as a launch tower, then holy cow, have fun with that modification process, SpaceX. Just have fun with that. But if because I don't think so though. Because they don't even have internal stairs going to the top either.
no, it's just a ladder
Yeah,
up on the legs.
because the other two towers have an internal staircase that goes all the way up the tower, so you have like safe access through a stairway rather than a ladder.
They learned a
There's
lot.
just so many things wrong with it.
They learned a lot from Tower
Carriage.
1, didn't they? And does Tower 1 lean? Was there any fact that the tower was sinking or leaning or something silly? Was that ever a thing that was worked out?
All I think that happened is when they launched Flight 1, they I think they misaligned the mount slightly compared to the tower. Because I think that's why they had so many issues with Ship 25 and Booster 9 until they did some changes here and there. At least that's what I thought it was. I don't remember though, off the top of my head.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
either the pad DLM slightly moved, if anything. But I mean, you're talking, what is that, 100 meters? So
Not much.
a slight, I mean, a few millimeters off will screw you up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Yeah, everybody's chat's saying calling Ryan a crazy pessimist, but he already knew that.
Or the voice of reason.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's unless the ship comes out in 3 sections that just have to get stacked. Wow.
I mean, I'll just say this with in terms of Block 3, like say all the sections were ready right now. All right, it'll take them at least 2 to 3 weeks to stack it. That's number one, which they need the turntable available, and it's not at the moment unless they take that test tank off. They stack it. Okay, maybe say it's stacked mid to late October. Say late October, it's stacked by then. Well, then they got to finish it. Unless they have improved their process, unless they've improved their processes, that takes at least another month to finish it off, like Block 2, and then they got to cryo it, and then it takes about another month and a half or so to install the engines and finish it off, which at that point you get to end of December, more or less. And then you gotta static fire it, and then finish that whatever else is left with that, and then get it out to the pad. Well, here's the thing: once you get it out to the pad, you then have to stack it on this brand spanking new booster with a brand new pad that also is going to need wet dress rehearsal testing. You're gonna have to do tanking tests to nail down your countdown, and who knows if the first stack will go right. Anyways, there's so many unknowns that it's not going to happen. Like they're ways away.
And
Gwen's got your back. Gwen says that Ryan's a realist, not a pessimist. There you go.
Yeah, and you also forgot commissioning Massey's test stand and infrastructure.
Yeah, there's all that still has yet to be tested. Like the new booster stand, they haven't even modified the ship cryo stand yet. Like the QD, that hasn't even been modified yet.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah,
we can
most
keep going.
definitely. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
And that leads to another question from Missing Tools. Alex, if you want to elaborate any more, he was curious as to what makes you think that Tower 1 is just going to go away. But yeah, I think you already covered that, unless you want to elaborate any more.
Yeah, it's just so much easier for. I mean, there's so many things that are probably not even visible that'll have to be tweaked. Because I mean, you're gonna have to strip it of all of your mechanicals and sort of start back from scratch. All the plumbing, all the electrical, all your sensors. Ugh.
Yeah,
And
for
that's
sure.
assuming the carriage for the chopsticks hasn't been modified or tweaked in the later designs. And
Which it has.
yeah, so and
Yeah.
and at some point you have to sort of face the music. This was a bespoke one-off tower, and now they're starting to go to more of a assembly line. So most of their engineering is much more finished. So why have an oddballs that's going to require specialty knowledge and tooling to keep going?
I like the idea. Maybe it'll be used for the first ship catch or whatever. But other than that, yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen to Pad 1. We'll just have to keep our eye on watch in the future.
Stephanie,
Hello.
if we want updated pictures, which I assume we do, since we're here anyways, of Gigabay in Florida, in the, let's see here, I'll put it in the live comms here. There you go.
All right, while we're doing that, we'll have another question, Jay, please.
Yeah, please. I am starting to lose questions that they've been so stacked up, so I'm trying to copy and paste them here. Question from Trent Delico related is, when do you think the original Starship pad teardown begins? January of 26 or later?
Hopefully it's pretty well straight after the next launch. Depends on their priorities and how they're going about things. I guess they'll still keep the priority on Pad B going and Massey's to start with, but yeah, probably soon after.
I would say so, yeah.
I would.
Keep going, right?
I said I would expect the mount and all the tank farm stuff related to Pad A to go. And then what they would do, I think, is they'll modify the sticks for catching ships or boosters. They'll modify the sticks as much as close as they can to stack the new vehicles, and then they'll take the ship QD arm off and everything and make it a catch tower until they get any sort of other approval, because they got to wait on approvals right now. So I think that's what they'll do to start.
Right, and that leads into what Crane Man just said. Wouldn't it be safer to first catch ships on the longer chopsticks?
It might be.
I don't see
I don't
the
think
long. Yeah, the long chopsticks aren't long for this world, because they'll either have their guidance dialed in or not.
All right, cool. We better keep going through the questions. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, most definitely. A question from Gwinever. So, what odds will Ryan give the first version 3 ship does a ship 36 and cause even longer delays? Seriously, I don't think the first version 3 will fly.
Ooh.
Let me just get our crystal ball out over here.
Yeah.
Right. It is one of those things that's up in the air whether or not 39 and 18 actually do fly, or it ends up being 40 and 19. And 39 and 18 become the booster for ship 20 of Pad B. Although I do think they've moved on from that kind of stuff from this program, but you never know. I'm still like maybe a 70-30 that those even fly. 70% chance they fly, 30% chance they don't. I don't know about blowing up though. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't 36 itself.
No, seriously. And that leads right into Brian Aries' question. Do you think Booster 18 will fly, or will Booster 19 be the first flight?
Unless there's a structural deficiency that requires substantial modifications, it'll fly.
Thank you, Joe.
That's my opinion.
All right. Let's see here. Brian Aries, will they move Tower 1 back further towards the dunes?
Well, that
Yes.
map we saw, they were leaving Tower 1 where it is, but and they always speculated they might have the new tower out there. The only plans we've seen is this is where the tower's going to stay, but those plans aren't set in concrete because we already saw some of the plans changed just at Pad B as well, so let's keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, and that submission, though, was for the Army Corps of Engineers, mainly for groundwork, not necessarily for surface construction.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Fair enough. All right. From Chazbomb, do you think it's more likely that instead of Block 3 being late, it's more so that Ship 36 threw off the entire launch schedule?
It's late.
I
There's
don't know if it's late or that it's just really taking them a while to figure out this new iteration. It's hard to classify whether it's late because we don't know what their timeline was. You know,
There's a few things going on too, like the whole factory's being refitted. The factory itself is R&Ding. There's not just you got to keep remembering there's not just vehicles involved here. There's the whole launch pad. There's the whole factory. There's so many things play into these things. And yeah, sure, Ship 36 may have delayed things a bit. It's certainly got Massey's hurried along, and they've certainly had the time and the ability to get around that by using the launch pad as a static pipe of the ship. So I'm not sure the Ship 36 really slowed them down much at all, because what's stopping them going forward for the launch for version 3 stuff is this pad here. And of course the vehicle's a little bit behind, but I don't think 36 slowed them down much for vehicles, to be honest. There's so many things in play at once here at Starbase. A lot of people forget that it's also an R&D factory as well as an R&D, for the rockets as well.
Exactly right.
Yeah, in fact, Elon often says it's the factory is the hard part. Building, the ship's the easy bit. The rockets, the hard part is the factory for mass production.
Building the
Thanks, Joe.
machine to build the machine.
That's the word. Thank you.
That's right. I'll move on over to the remainder of questions are for Tower and Launchpad 2 from FlyJake314. How high will the blast panels go on Tower 2? All the way to the QD arm or to the top?
I think we've seen the height where they're going to go at. I don't remember how many sections up it is, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But
I
one
think
side is
that-
finished. That you were just on the right picture, facing the lift station is the picture I would choose. That'll show the actual height.
It's one of these.
One or zoomed out one.
Oh, there's ones from that side. Hang on, just give me a second. This one will do. Looks like that's where they're going up to, perhaps. Oh, on the other side shows. Sorry, you're right. You're right, Ryan. Sorry. This one here you're looking for. Thanks. Probably to there. You reckon, Ryan?
Yeah, I think that's how high they're going to go, and that's the exact design of what it's going to be. They're just got to finish it up on the other side, and that'll be what it looks like.
Thank you.
All right, question from Crane Man. Why is there so much scaffolding up on the outside trench wall between Tower B and Launch Mount B?
In here?
There's access to the Deluge stuff.
Yeah.
And that was also one of their areas for getting in. And with all the groundwork, they're probably not in a hurry to pull it down.
There was access doors in here and here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They just needed some more monkey bars to crawl around on.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep, definitely.
They ran out of rocket packs.
And there's also, they might move the access scaffold tower to this side once they finish the cladding.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Let's see. There was a question. I don't remember who asked it, but it was a good, valid question. Will Launchpad B have a dance floor type structure to service the bottom of the booster?
Nope.
Don't believe so.
Not right now. Unless they come up with some
or equivalent, yeah.
out of this world design. I don't really see how it's even possible to do such a thing, to be honest.
I mean, they could build a scaffolding floor like that again, but I highly doubt that too. No, well, because we haven't with version 3 booster, and that they shouldn't need. There's a few things that they need the dance floor for on pad A. They don't need on pad B, like one, for instance, hooking up the LOX chill lines, and they never need to do that ever again. So they probably just don't need it in the future moving forward.
All right, cool. Question from Tony Ugg. Have they finished or have they fitted metal plates at the trench bottom at the end of the flame bucket pipes yet?
Nope.
Down in here.
They may or may not need them. The tips that they added to the pipes might be they're sacrificial, but they still have to cover the sumps and the edges.
The very end of the pipes, we sort of missed it, but I think Zach caught it. The very end of the pipes were actually were capped up, and then they added little extensions. So some of the shots looks like the end of the pipes are open, but they're not actually. They're sealed further in. This shot might show it down in here.
Yeah, it's part of the anchoring. You'd have to go last week where it's dry.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure. Will they actually need? It's this little drop here. Maybe they won't. That's not a problem, is it, Alex? That little drop there.
No, I'd be more concerned with the edges against the wall.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Sorry if I butcher this last name, but I'm going to try it anyway. Question from Adam Jaroskiewicz. What type of ventilation system do you think they have in the support structure for the workers?
I guess talking about the side thing over here on the side. Well, for now, a bit of open air. Eventually, what do you reckon? I thought we saw fans up in here at some stage.
So, yeah, except you're going to need fresh air intakes and exhausts. And so far, at least on the upper levels, there hasn't even, because the center, what they could have used for a chase is the LOX QD.
They could open this door and hot air. They could open this door and hot air would rise.
No. I mean, they have the gap between the OLM wall, so they could get in whatever's in that substructures that we never saw in the basement underneath. They might have some air, because there's no air handling equipment that's gone in. You have those purge pipes, but that's kind of the opposite of what you're looking for.
That's some good tricky questions coming through this week. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I got another good one for you. A very hypothetical question from Petrie. If there is a weak point on Tower 2, what do you think it will be?
Tower 2. Once again, crystal ball job. So I guess that comes from the question that from Tower 1, they learnt a lot from Tower 1. I'm wondering where the question is, what lessons do we think they may learn from Tower 2? Well, that's a bit too early to find that question. You're right about being hypothetically. So hypothetically, well, I guess they've got a new valve system up here. I'm imagining, Alex, they use the same sort of modular system in the tower as they have been in the ground support equipment.
Yeah, technically the tower is ground support, but yeah.
New shorter arms, I guess. There's a few things they're going to learn from. There's quite a few new things in this particular tower. The whole base is all different, so they're going to learn how acoustics and how the tower sort of survives launch and whatever. The QDs being on the other side, everything. There's quite a few differences with the whole launch dynamics. So hypothetically, there's lots of things to learn, and which areas are going to fail? Well, that's a good question. No idea for now. Thank you for your question. Thank you, Joe.
Only the future may tell. All right, I've got one last question here. I think we'll close out with from Sayad Usmani. How deep are those gaps in the flame trench next to the bucket?
The bottom of the pipes it steps down probably 8 or 10 inches, so not that deep. The sumps go down. One of them is below through the pile cap for groundwater, and the adjacent one the larger one with the pump is only about probably 2 meters, 6 feet.
Last week had water as well.
No, one of the weeks it was dry.
Yeah, thanks. All right, thank you, Joe. We might nail it on the head there. Thank you very much. Okay,
Awesome.
so
Yeah, that's all I got.
we might wrap up the show. So, Ryan Webber, thank you so much for your time today and your good humour and your good manner in the chat there and all your knowledge and information. Thank you very much. Oh, there was one thing. Sorry, hang on. Just
Let's say, do
quickly.
you want to? We can do that here since we're still here, just real quick. Yeah.
So this is an
There you go.
update for Roberts Road. So this is sort of how the framework's going to look here at Starbase. It's much what we thought, a truss sort of system for the walls on multiple bases. There's a tower crane there. You want to add anything, Ryan?
I mean, yeah, it was just Max and Julia just did a quick flyover of the Cape, so got a nice update of an operational tower crane with the center load bearing wall getting installed. Which
So we
is
thought to
nice.
go over and follow Max Evans over on X and have a quick look through there. It's a good little shout out for NSF there. Thank you, Ryan. Awesome. Okay, so thank you for your time today, Ryan, and those letting us use that for your NSF stuff and showing me where we can and can't use that sort of content. So I really appreciate your time on that and for your time on the show today. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's always fun to get to talk Starship. I always love doing it, especially with you two. It's always a lot of fun.
Appreciate that remark. Thank you very much. And as always, Alex, I really, really appreciate your time and patience with everything to do with Starbase. And I know you've had a bit of a funny week, so I really appreciate your effort and energy to be on the show here today. You've done well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Glad to be here, and you did a good job keeping Ryan and I reined in because you kept us from
I know,
going
right?
a long-term rant. We'd still be going. So
That's so good. I appreciate you recognising that and going along with it. You guys make my job easy too. Thank you. So I thought we were going to lose Ryan there. I knew we'd be right, Alex. So I'll say goodbye. I guess I'll leave Joe to thank his lovely wife and the rest of the crew for their job, and I'll say goodbye and thank you very much, Joe. I really appreciate you coming back, and your new mic and audio system sounds wonderful, by the way. And see you all later.